Chase the Traveler in the house again with a new episode. So, are the Japanese one-dimensional? Are they all the same? Are they different? Well, they're one-dimensional. No, I'm kidding. They're definitely not one-dimensional. But it's a little tricky. Just like Run DMC said, it's tricky. And let me tell you why. I mean, you're gonna find every single type of Japanese person in Japan. You're going to find people that like this. You're going to find people that like that. You're not going to find people that like the same exact things. There are a variety of different types of Japanese people. And they like a variety of different things, and they're definitely not one-dimensional. But when it comes to the foreigner, when it comes to outside things, when it comes to the way they deal with foreigners, I mean, I would say that most of the time it's one-dimensional. And the reason that I'm going to tell you that it's one-dimensional most of the time is because the information they get about foreigners is pretty much one-dimensional. The information they get, the information they see about us is one-dimensional. So the way that they deal with you will probably be the same way, due to the fact that the information they have is pretty much the information that everybody's receiving. And because they're receiving the same info, they're going to give you the same reaction. And as you can see here, you've got different types of Japanese people. They're wearing different clothing, different colors. They like different things. But again, when it comes to dealing with you, the foreigner, whether you're from the US, whether you're from China, whether you're from France, the information they have about that country is the way that they're going to react to you. And pretty much, like I said, I mean, you know, when Japanese people get information, they're pretty much getting it from the same source. And that's why a lot of people just can't deviate. That's why a lot of people kind of like say the same thing or react to you the same way, ask you the same questions. I mean, when I first came to Japan, it was all about, I said 2 words of Japanese, and everybody 9 times out of 10, people would tell me how wonderful my Japanese was, even though I just said 2 words. When I picked up some chopsticks, 9 times out of 10, people would congratulate me and tell me how wonderful my usage of chopsticks was. Even though I really wasn't all that good. So of course, They're not doing that with other Japanese people. They're just doing that with you based on what they think they know, based on the information that they got. So, of course, they seem one-dimensional. Now, it's also, I mean, you're also going to run into it when you want to change certain things that are Japanese. You might think that they're one-dimensional. I mean, let's say you like a certain Japanese dish, and the Japanese make it a certain way. Now, trying to suggest a change in the recipe might infuriate them. Again, I'm exaggerating a bit, but they might not respond that kindly to it, like, oh, no, it's not supposed to be made that way, it's supposed to be made like this. Now, I guarantee you that if another Japanese person had suggested it, they would have responded a different way. So, when they're dealing with the foreigner, I would say that Japan is definitely one-dimensional, based on the fact that, okay, well, you don't have that right to do this, or you don't have the right to say that. Yes. So, they're definitely not one-dimensional. But when it comes to dealing with the foreigner, when it comes to interacting with the foreigner, when it comes to the foreigner making certain suggestions, I would say, in my opinion, that they're one-dimensional. Now, when it comes to dealing with foreigners, interacting with foreigners, most of the time, they are going to interact with you in the same way, which will lead you to believe that they're one-dimensional. But honestly, they're really not one-dimensional. And you could see that when they interact with themselves. You can totally see it when they interact with themselves. They're definitely not one-dimensional. So, but a lot of people think that they are. And the fact of the matter is that when they're dealing with certain types of people, like I said again, when they're dealing with certain foreigners, if you're French, they're going to deal with you a certain way. They're going to act a certain way. But when they're dealing with other people, when they're dealing with each other locally, you're going to find a lot of variation in what they do, what they like to do, how they like to do it, how they interact, how they socialize. Which can sometimes be frustrating for the foreigner who's used to a certain amount of variety. And I'm not sure that Anybody who's lived in Japan long enough has figured out how to deal with that, or has figured out how to extract a normal interaction from a Japanese person. What do I mean by normal? I mean how to extract the type of interaction Japanese people give each other. So as a foreigner, it's almost like you're almost never going to see that. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing either. I'm saying that the Japanese can definitely be both. But you probably just won't see that side of them, or they won't show you that side because they've been trained. It's you or me. I mean, no, maybe not you or me. It's like me and them. So, for all those people that are wondering, why is it that when I go to Japan I feel like these people are like one-dimensional? They're not. They're just that way with you. They just act that way with you. They don't act that way with each other. The Japanese are definitely not one-dimensional. But the information they get about us, the information they get about different types of foreigners, different types of places is kind of like the same. So your interaction with them will be one-dimensional. But you know something? It makes things very predictable. It makes things very easy. Because you know what they're going to say. You know how they're going to say it. And I'd say 9 times out of 10, let's say maybe 8 or 7 times out of 10, you're going to know what the response is. Because if they're one-dimensional with you, there really isn't that much wiggle room in terms of what the answer will be in regards to what you need, or in regards to what you want, or in regards to what your chances are. So I myself, I think it's like good and bad. It's good because it's predictable. It's good because you kind of like, I mean, honestly, I mean, when you're speaking with Japanese people, it's extremely predictable. Extremely. Way more than if you're dealing with somebody else. You kind of already know the answer before you even ask, but then okay, well, there's a chance that it might be different, so let me take a chance. But pretty much everything is one-dimensional when you're dealing with the foreigner. They already have their minds made up. They already know who you are, even though they don't know you. But they think that they know you. They already know how they should interact with you. A lot of Japanese people are into this stuff. My goodness, $7-8 for a pony, a little pony like that. I mean, it looks like something that belongs in a dollar store, but hey, it is what it is. Now look at this. You know, look at this card right here. It's worth almost $2,000 to $3,000. No. Yes, $2,000 to $3,000. This one is like $600. Some people are just crazy about these cards. I mean, if anybody knows anything about this, look at this. $150 for that? I don't get it. $150 for this also if you have it. This is kind of like a world of Japan that I just never immersed myself in, but I guess if I had one of these cards, or if I knew how to deal with these cards, I'd make a lot of money. I mean, this area is, oof. That was like an X-rated film. I didn't need to show you that. But let's get back to the subject. Excuse me. One-dimensional. Well, of course, like I said, for me at least, it makes it, I kind of like it to a certain degree, because I can predict them. I can predict what they're going to do, what they're going to say, how they're going to do it. It's almost like if I have a date with a Japanese lady and I know if I go to certain places that I'm going to get a certain reaction most of the time. So it's predictable. Back in the day when I was looking for work in Japan, I knew just being a black man getting a job wouldn't be that easy. So if I saw a lot of people interviewing and most of them were white, I knew that me, the black man, I wasn't going to get it. The Chinese guy who grew up in America wasn't going to get it. The Korean guy wasn't going to get it either, even if he grew up in America. So the fact that Japanese are a certain way is kind of like a good thing sometimes. So of course, I don't think it's such a bad thing. But I hope that with this little video you kind of understand who they are and why they do certain things a certain way. And they're definitely not, like I said, one-dimensional. But when it comes to certain things, when it comes to getting a certain amount of information, the information that they get is one-sided. So, therefore, the way that they're going to deal with you will be one-sided. And until that information changes, then we foreigners will always put them in that box of being a certain way when it comes to us. Most certainly. Now, like I said, I don't think it's such a bad thing. I don't think that I disapprove of that side of Japanese people or that side of Japan, because now I know how to walk about. It's kind of like very clear what you should, what you shouldn't, how you should, how you shouldn't go about living over here. So, I don't know. I mean, I know that some people are going to disagree with me on this one. It's healthy. You know, it's funny, I've never been here. These are all the people that are just crazy about these Japanese cards. They're doing these are the same guys that are going to buy $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 cards. I mean, they're doing something with it over there. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I just never got involved in that. Whole bunch of people over here trading cards. It's like a whole bunch of guys and two girls. Guess it's not that popular with the ladies. So, interesting. Now, one of these days, I'm going to have to figure out what they're doing over there because I don't get it. Looks like it's highly profitable for that store to be selling those cards like they are, but I mean, those cards are probably more valuable than crypto. I don't know, maybe I should go in there and just figure out what exactly it is that they're doing. Interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, let me get back to the subject. Yes, of course, Japanese people are not one-dimensional, but they're one-dimensional when it comes to dealing with foreigners based on the information that they have received. So when you're coming to Japan and when you deal with Japan, please understand that. There are many, many different types of Japanese people with a variety of different dreams and aspirations and a variety of different thoughts. And I've met all of them, of course. No, I haven't met every single Japanese person. But either way, hope that with every episode that you understand a little bit more about Japan. I'm getting ready to travel again. I'm going to go and explore the world again. So anyway, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Chase the Traveler with an episode on one dimension.